Right, I remember going to see a band called The Colours in the Students' Union, in the Students' Union in Newport when I was quite young. And the drummer was this a kid who looked like he was in the police. And I just remember watching the drummer and thinking he's phenomenal. And the drummer was Ginge at the time. I watched him then from a distance for years doing different things, and I always thought he was an incredible drummer. And then these guys were in a band called the Blood Brothers.
That's right. Well, it's a long story, isn't it? But we basically, me and Richie and Ginge were jamming. And
hang on a minute, the Blood Brothers split up, didn't they?
Yeah, the Blood Brothers split up.
But you three guys wanted to stay together and write.
Yeah, we stuck. Me and Richie and Ginge kind of stuck together, and we carried on writing stuff. And we were just jamming, and we were writing all this like punk stuff, which was great. But somebody said to us,
I tell you what, it was me.
It was you, was it?
Because I was over Mike and
Because I was trying to sing, and you was trying to sing,
right,
and it was crap. It was awful. So like somebody said to us, it was him. What you need was a good singer. It was you.
That's right. And then because I
was
over Mike and Alvin's, right? Then he had like a 4-track recorder, and he said, "Oh, listen to this, man. This is our new stuff. We're doing a rock band here." And I heard it, and it was like, you know, kind of rocky stuff, and with your vocals over
there.
Yeah,
I was singing on it.
I was like, bloody hell, boys, that's really good. That is. That's wicked. Tidy. Who's a singer like? He's really. Oh, that's Benji. That is. And I was like, oh yeah, Benji. I know Benji. Like, yeah, from down Pill. Yeah, wicked. Nice one, boys. And then I went to the boys and said, boys,
there's a singer down Pill.
You know Benji.
You can poach this guy down Pill, like.
You can sing the rock, wicked, man.
Oh, I was going for the rock, see? That's what I was going for. I was down. And it's funny because, like, I was like, Mike and Alvin were just getting weirder and weirder, like. And, you know, like, I'd go to their place and they wasn't there, or they was there, and when they was, the curtain would move and the door wouldn't open.
Yeah.
You know, it just got weirder and weirder. So when Nigel Trug come knocking on my door one night.
That's right, it was Nigel.
Because you didn't come, you sent Nigel Trug to ask me.
That's right, yeah. Because Truggy was, wasn't he doing something with us then? Because he used to do the Blood Brothers, didn't he? He used to manage the Blood Brothers.
He managed the Blood Brothers, that's right.
That's right, cool.
So yeah, well, I remember that first jam we had with you, and it was amazing, but you kept on doing all the rocky stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which nobody, it was cool, this is great, this is rock, but I remember the first time you dropped that sort of dancehall reggae style vocal, and all, I think we just literally stopped and went, oh my God.
That's what we need, like.
That's it.
And that's what Ginge said, do that stuff, just keep doing the reggae stuff. And I was a bit pissed off, because I said, I'd been singing on sound systems for years.
That's right.
And the reason why I got started working with Mike and Alvin is because I was sick to death of the bullshit in the reggae thing, like, you know?
Yeah.
And I wanted to be in a rock band, like.
That's right.
And there you go. and I got around you and you were like, come on, do the dancehall stuff on it, do the Jamaican stuff, do it fucking works. And I said, all right. And we did it, and the door sort of swang open quick, didn't they?
That's right, yeah, very quick.
We keep it moving, rocking, jumping and doing. You know, we, first show we played couple of shows, but it's funny because as we did the demos with Carl Barton on when we went on to Words of Warning Records. I remember a few of the tracks we snuck into the studio with Nick Atkins
after the Clean College gig. Well, we went straight from a gig, straight into the studio.
The Verbal recording, they had a few days off, didn't they?
That's right.
They were just leaving, weren't they? They were just leaving as we arrived. I remember in the morning.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, we snuck in and used this all night.
Yeah. And wasn't that Respected and all that?
Yeah, Respected. We recorded Respected. It was like
Funging It in the House and all
that.
Yeah,
Nasir. No, Nasir thing was recorded in London. When we went, we done the Stone. What's it called? The Strong Room.
Yeah.
We done the Strong Room sessions with that guy Jeremy Clark or whatever his name was.
That's right.
When he was
Jeremy Lazelle.
Jeremy Lazelle. Yeah.
That's right. If you don't own the Masters own you. I'll never forget that, because he owns the Masters.
And we ran in, and we recorded the stuff, and we tried to steal the tapes.
That's right.
Oh, you guys, you went back to steal it.
We'd actually got the tapes out.
You got
as
caught,
well.
didn't we? And they stopped the car.
That's right. We stood in front of the
Stop the
car.
car!
And stopped us.
You got
We
the
were
tapes!
out of the building with the tapes in the car,
in the
about to
back.
drive off, and he stood in front of the car, didn't he? And stopped the car and said, "You can't take those."
I never had much. I didn't want to work. As a kid growing up, I left school and I was like, I don't want to work. And anything I could do not to work, I would. I wanted to sign on, and the genre wasn't enough, so I just got up to all sorts of skullduggery, selling weed, robbing people. I got this thing together where I could like sort of. Basically, someone would want some weed, and I'd give them like a wrap of like sawdust or something.
I just remember my brother when he found out that I was in a band with Benj, because my brother used to be his teacher.
Yeah, he was my woodwork teacher.
Right? He was a woodwork, and it's a long story to that, but I remember him saying, "God, you're not in a band with that Benji, you? He's blinking nuts, he is. What are you doing in a band with him?"
Yeah,
I said, "You don't know him, Nick, like I know him.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy."
Yeah,
he's
by
a
the
top
time that
geezer.
came around, I changed.
Yeah.
But I lived my life like on the streets, hustling, making money the best way I could. I mean, like, if it took fighting or beating people up, that's the way I lived my life. And I did that for about 5 or 6 years. Fortunately, I never went to prison because all my friends recognized the talent. That they could see I was a singer, and they knew that's what I really should be doing. So all the heavy shit I got involved in, they'd always give me alibis for some reason, and I never went to prison. But I know I should have went to prison a few times in different ways. But then I seen the light and I got Jesus, and that sort of changed. That was definitely a 360 turnaround in my life. And it's funny because the week I got Jesus, I met E-Rake Records. It just didn't work, and then I got all religious, but it wasn't I was religious, very Christianity, born again kind of dude. And I just stopped all the badness, all the madness, and focused on lyrics, writing lyrics of uplifting and conscious lyrics about what life can be like when you change. So I had that life-changing thing, but it really helped me. I mean, all the wrong things I did, all the bullshit and all the skullduggery I got up to, I think it sort of set the tone for the band lyrically. You know what I mean? So
very spiritual, very spiritual.
I had that road to Damascus experience, that turned my life around.
Praise the Lord! Glory to God!
It's funny because E-Rake being such a dark label at that time, I remember someone wrote Digby, what's it called, saying you're going to sign Cliff Richards next to you because because of the way I was. I remember someone writing that, one of his Swedish devil worshipping bands, I think. But I just felt like you got to be, you got to be light in dark times. You got to be the light in the darkness, and I felt that we were, a band that were writing positive stuff, and Digby was backing it and loving it, and I mean. It takes all sorts to make the world go round, and it was good for E-Rake Records that we were on there, and we were all happy to be on E-Rake.
Kill the truth and destroy the truth. So why?
None of us were really a metal band. We didn't even know what metal was. Jeff Status Quo.
I thought I was in the Sex Pistols.
So we didn't look at it like we're in a metal band. We didn't. We were in an alternative punk band, and we were embraced by the NME. Very early, before the Kerrang and the Metal Hammer got involved in Dub War and E-Rake, we were on a label called Words of Warning, which was more like, that was an indie label. It was funny because we had Single of the Week in the NME and Single of the Week in the Kerrang.
That's right, yeah.
And I was like, we had a good thing going for a minute, it all went tits up with the whole indie thing. Because we had a situation where rumours were talking, people were talking backstage about, the Manic Street Preachers and that, and it got taken and written down and printed in the NME, and it just all fucking went to shit.
Which is a real shame.
It was a real shame because it was never.
And it was Stubbsy.
Well, you never had to say it was Stubbsy, but yeah, it
Sorry,
was. It was. It
no,
was
I just want to
Stubbsy.
put it on the record.
Yeah, it was. It was our roadie basically. Basically, our roadie was talking stuff to the
Hang on,
NME.
come on now. Should we be saying this?
I don't know. They can always take
That's
it
what
or leave it.
happened, didn't it?
It was our agency used to get us all the gigs.
Paul Bolton.
Paul Bolton. when we first signed the Paul
Before
Bolton.
Paul Bolton, it was
What's his name? Keto.
Robin Keato.
Robin Keato.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
And I remember we went up to Bolton's office, and it was the first time we met him, and I had to go. And I remember getting in the office, and he had a big, like a white rug, like like a sheepskin rug, like a lovely office in London. I was like, oh, this is plush. And we walk in, sit there, and he's like, yeah, what are you there? I sit with you. And I remember thinking, God, this stinks of shit in here. Right in the neck, smells like dog shit. Oh. I was like, oh, what's that smell like? Someone stepped in shit or something like? He was like, no, I don't know what you mean. And I remember sitting there and going like that. And then going, and then I looked at the sheepskin and I was like, oh, and I was like, I think it's me. Oh, sorry, Paul. I think fucking. And he's like, it's all right. Like, I'm my secretary now, and this bird had to come up, and she cleaned it up, and I just felt like terrible. I was like, oh. But he still gave us loads of gigs, didn't he?
Yeah,
he loved us.
Yeah, loads.
Yeah. I'll tell you. This Dub War started in this gym.
In this gym.
Right? How many years ago?
Oh God, 25 years I've been here, haven't I?
And we had 5 years in there, didn't we? Like
5 years, Dub War.
And then with the skin dread thing as well.
Skin dread, yeah.
So we've been in here in all, and it's like this place here that's enabled us, like to give us a room and look after us over the years, like
Well, you've sponsored us, haven't you? With each group you've had, you've sponsored us.
Of course, it's been like that, and like we look at, because it's a boxing club, we just help out, and it's real good, like But it's this club with where the band started, in here. The first time I came and jammed with Jeff and Ginge and Richie was in this club. Doran's, come on.
All in here, all in St Joseph's.
And what did they ever go in the ring?
He's always in the ring, always sparring with Benji.
Really?
Always, yeah. He's a good man.
When we first used to come here, it was just black. There was nothing in here at all. It was like there was just when Ginge first, because Ginge was in here like you said 25 years ago. Ginge had this room. You have this where you can hear the music, where it says women's changing room, which is not really a changing room at all.
Is that the boxers taking the mic?
That's the boxers taking a mic. But this is when he first came down, this was out of bounds. No one would come down here. There was nothing here at all. But after over the years, they used these two rooms as like studios, and the middle, where we are now, is like the changing room for the boxers. It can get weird when you're like walking through and there's people changing and shit, but it's all rock and roll. And this is my little hole.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is like where I do my thing. This is where Skin Dread was working. On the other side is where Jeff and Ginge had theirs. This is it. Yeah, this room was Skin Dread's rehearsal room for a long time. I think there's the guys in the Skin Dread band if you check them out on the wall. But I think we outgrown this room now, so I just use it to do pre-production with bands that I'm working with and stuff, and maybe do some writing on my own and stuff. It was really cool.
So I asked Earache if you were the only black guy on the label, and they sounded quite excited. And they said,
what? How excited in what way?
well, they said, no, there's another one now. I mean, your stuff's kind of, it's not metal, but being on that label and touring with bands that are more of that ilk, was it a bit strange? Because you must have been kind of the only, it must have been a bit of a theme, being the only black guy.
Well, it's like you said earlier about being the only Christian. I mean, if you're a little weedy tweedy thing, everyone's going to take the piss out of you. But if you look like you're a bit dapper, people don't. It's simple, they won't do that kind of thing to you. So it's never been an issue in heavy metal music for me. What do we tour with that sort of influenced us and stuff like that as Dub War? Well, the whole Max Cavalera thing, wasn't it? Because he became a big fan. The Snot thing, Downset, Biohazard. That's when we started to look at ourselves like we were in a rock band, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah. It was that particular tour.
Yeah, but when before we started traveling the world, we definitely thought we were an indie rock band.
Yes, I did say that I love. Only you can give me $1 million love.
There was band called Compulsion and Skunk and Nancy and Dog Eat Dog, who were bands that I think Digby's seen were the next generation of, because he had his hardcore thrash thing going on, but saying that, Earache had this whole fucking dance department as well, which was like aggressive sort of dance music.
Yeah.
So
Weird dance.
yeah, weird sort of Gabbero, I think he called it, or something like that. So it's like when I think Digby seen that our potential was that indie market, and it was just a niche that he felt he could slip in with us, and I think they did. I know we didn't sell a great deal of records, but I feel that they made headways with us, you know.
You know, I remember, you know, my present girlfriend, now I've been with her for like 17 years. I remember saying to her, like, oh, we got a gig next month, you know, to like, oh, we got 2 gigs the month after that, to like, oh, we got a tour coming up the month after that, to like, oh, we got 2 tours back to back, and we're going to America then as well, and then we're flying off to, like, I just remember how it built from nothing at all, you know, in the beginning, to like being really busy with it
Constantly.
and I remember somebody saying, oh, I'm not going to San Francisco to make a video or something.
Yeah, it was arguing about,
I don't want to go to San Francisco to make a video. And when you look back and think about, I don't want to go to San Francisco and make a video. If somebody said to me, do you want to go to San Francisco and make a video tomorrow? I'd be like, yeah, all right then. You know, but I remember the situations, the sketches.
Well, we were in the studio recording.
And I remember did you blow up on somebody because the bottle tops wasn't unscrewed properly?
Yeah. I couldn't open a bottle top. And
You
I
know,
was
nearly fired a crew member because he
The
didn't
water.
Because of the
Yeah,
water.
yeah.
Because he didn't unscrew them. We had this massive argument backstage. Yeah, but you're supposed to undo the bottle tops when we're on stage because I look
Yeah.
like a right twat when I go up and I pick my water up and it didn't come out. Just like, oh, this is proper Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
This is amazing. We are reliving Spinal Tap. It was brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it was amazing.
All that sort of stuff is what made it for me. I mean, at the time I was thinking, oh no, this is terrible. But when you look back on it, it was amazing. I don't regret none of it.
Like, I remember the first time we went to America. You know, we we went over there and we done we were doing the Warp Tour. We were in a van. We did it in a van with the gear in the van with us, traveling across America. You know,
Unbelievable. We used to leave at like a motel or wherever we was in about like sort of 6-7 in the morning. When we drive like all day practically to get to one of the gigs. We'd get out, we'd play the show, we'd get back in a van, drive till about 2 or 3 in the morning, find a motel, stay there for a couple of hours, get up at 6-7 o'clock again in the morning, drive all day again until we got there, and we'd have to leave, and it was a real drag, wasn't it? Because every night they'd have these massive parties, and we'd all have to go to make it to the next show.
The first night we stayed in one of the most famous hotels, right on Sunset, I think it is, and they were laying the Hoover. We were staying there. We had 3 rooms in there. This is on that tour when we was all in the van, crushed, and one morning we woke up and it was like they were making this like a stage right outside Richie's window. And we realised, opened the window a couple of hours later, and like the media's there and the cameras and all this stuff's there now. And we all look out the window and realise that they're going to lay a star on the strip, like, for somebody. I wonder who it is. Next thing you know, it's Patrick Swayze's coming up, and there's like cameras clicking and all that. And the mayor or whoever it was starts presenting him with a star and, you know, being an asset and all this. And Richie's in the window. And we're all leaning out of the window, and as like the mayor makes this little gap in his speech, Richie shouts out, "Swayze, you wanker!"
And they all look up as well, don't they?
Everybody looked up. The whole of Hollywood looked up at us, like.
I jumped back in and I left and it was
and I just remember running down the hall.
So they were left there, stood there going, what me?
I just remember running down the hall, like everybody just left the room and ran down the hall.
The thing is, I saw that on a biography channel a couple of months ago.
What,
that
when it was
actual
doing the
sketch, right? And I was sat there, you know, on the
You
telly
hear
in
in
the
the
back. No, it's just, you know, Patrick Swayze, you know.
Yeah, he died, didn't he? Yeah.
You know, innit? But they had on the biography channel, and I thought, oh my God, that is the actual, you know,
The event.
That's the
one
event.
of those cameras, the event.
Would have
I was like,
caught Swayze a
but they
wanker.
must have edited that
Something
out
must
quite
have.
cleverly, because I didn't hear no Swayze a wanker. Do you know what I mean?
I'd just like to say, I don't think Patrick Swayze's a wanker. And I used to love Patrick Swayze, Dirty Dancing, one of my
Ghost.
favourite film, Ghost, classic.
Yeah.
And, you know, God rest his soul.
We all learned pottery after that one, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. After we did that one tour with Dubbo in a van, I did say, didn't I, and I did stick by it, that I would never do it again. Never do that again as long as I live, because we were sat like this for like 13 hours. We used to stop at a gas
And it was
station
hot
or
as
something.
well, wasn't it? Some of the hot places, man, it'd be so
Oh, I remember the
you
van.
remember the
the
game
van
we
would
used to
stop to
play?
fuel up, and the doors would open all around the van, and everyone would run off in different directions just to get away from people for like 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Innit?
yeah.
You know, I reckon the best one though was when you, on that tour bus, where were we going? I know it was like Poland. Or something. Remember we were on the tour bus and Richie got off about 4 in the morning to have a crap,
Yeah.
and he forgot to tell the bus driver
He was going for the crap.
that he was going for a crap. So the bus left. It left. Like I remember in these days, there was no mobile phones.
No.
There was no MySpace
No.
and all. None
None
of this
of
crap.
that.
So Richie was in a petrol station,
In Germany?
fuel station in Germany, with a newspaper, a T-shirt, and his shorts on it as well.
And you called, I don't even know, who did you call?
So what did you
Carl
do?
Well, like,
Well,
as soon as I
Carl-
realised, oh, where's the bus gone? It's like, you know, the bus is gone. I was like, oh, no way, they've gone. Like, you know what I mean? So I'm there now, and like you say, I've got my paper, and I'm like, I've just had a, you know, tom tit, like. And I thought, what can I do? What can I do? Like you say, no mobile phones.
That's right, man.
So I think I had Carl's number, our manager's number, like, you know. And
In
it's
your
like,
head, like, was it?
No, I must have had it written down somewhere. I don't. I'm sure I couldn't remember that. Like, I don't know. And actually, I might have phoned like home or something. Phoned my
Yeah,
girlfriend
phone,
up
yeah,
and said,
yeah.
look, you know, give me Carl's
stuck,
number.
like.
Blah blah blah. I'm stranded in Germany.
But it was
The
real
bus is
quick.
coming with
And
me.
you got a lift off of some driver, didn't you?
straight away.
What happened? Yeah, I phoned Carl up. I said, Carl, I'm stranded in Germany. What do I do? What do I do? And he's like, what do you want me to do? Like,
Because there's no phones, like, there's no mobile phones. You phone the venue if you had a
So-
problem. Like.
yeah, I think he said, well, I'm going to phone, you know, I'll try and get hold of the venue and let them know that you're going to be late and, you know what I mean, try and hitch, or if not, find a train station, get a taxi. So I was just like, I was like, bloody hell, okay. So I remember the night before, we were having a bit of a drink, Jeff as well, listening to AC/DC, and we had that AC/DC DVD. Yeah. And me and you used to like, AC/DC, loving it like that. So that was still in my head. I was like hungover, and I was like, oh my God. I Way to Hell still going through my head. And I just stuck my thumb out from the service station. As soon as I stuck my thumb out,
Someone pulled up.
this German mullet head driver pulled up, right? AC/DC playing. So jump in, where you going? I was like, Munich, you know what I mean? Which is like, you know, probably over 100 miles away. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh.
I was like, Munich. I said, great, Munich, yeah, that's where I'm going. Like, yeah, wicked. Let's go. Like, and he was like, yeah, great. He's like, you like AC/DC? I was like, I love AC/DC. Yeah. He's like, that's good. With the AC/DC, and next thing you know, I was like following the bus, like, to Munich.
When we arrived at the hotel, we didn't even know Richie wasn't on the bus. We got to the hotel. We
No,
all got
none
off
of us
and
knew.
Somebody went, "Where's Richie?" We were
I
at the
seen
hotel
him
the
out of my
next day.
hotel window, getting out of a taxi with his jammers on.
We were like 10 minutes behind us, though.
Yeah, it was just 10 minutes
10,
behind
15
us.
minutes.
10 minutes behind us. Like I said, if
Of
I was
all
me,
the
I'd still be
chances,
there.
I know,
I'd
of
still
all
be
the
sat
chances
there.
in the world, man, the man came
Amazing. And I'll never forget the day that tour bus turned up.
Which one, the little one in Manchester?
No, the little one. No, outside Pale when we loaded up the gear, and the first gig was the Dynamo Festival.
It's the first day of the tour, like, you know, we're making our way to Eindhoven in Holland to do the Dynamo Festival. So,
Oh my God, 50 odd thousand people.
That was an amazing bus,
Well,
man.
we left here, didn't we? And we got to this gig about 2 or 3 in the morning. I remember me and you, me and Ben said, It was the Dynamo Festival. Was it 95 or something?
No.
95.
No, it was something like that. No, it wasn't our late. It was 95. It was.
And Ben said, "Oh, let's go and have a walk. Let's go and have a walk around."
We got there
see
about
what's
2 in the
happening."
morning,
Yeah,
didn't we?
2,
It was
3 in
pitch
the morning.
black.
We got there, and me and Ben found this massive stage with a huge field that just went on forever, you know. And I said to Ben, I said, "Oh, we couldn't be playing here. Which little tent are we in then?" He said, "There isn't any little tent.
This is the only stage in the festival.
And this is the one we're going to be on tomorrow." And I was like, "Oh my God!" We hadn't rehearsed for like a couple of weeks. We were straight at first gig, like this massive festival.
And we were on at 2 in the afternoon
Dynamo.
as well.
And but again, you know, like it'd been raining all day, and then like 2 minutes or something, 5 minutes before we were due on stage, it stopped raining. You know. And we went out, didn't we? And it was what a gig. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. But like
Biggest audience we played in front of.
30,000 people, I think, were estimated when we were on. And I was expecting a little tent, you know, at the bottom of somebody's garden, you know, with a couple of hippies in it. You know, but this place was just absolutely.
And it was a great day
jam-packed.
because like we met a lot of bands that day who still are friends with us to this day as well. It was like.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was like, I mean, that was the first time Max Cavalera came up to me and said to us.
That's
And he
right,
said-
because I went, "Who are you?"
Yeah, that's right. 'Cause I didn't know him either.
You
like.
didn't know. We were just, me and Ben were just walking about.
And this guy had
come
with
up,
these kids in it. He had
yeah,
2
with all
kids
the
in his
kit in
arm.
his
like.
bus, and he come up and he said, "Oh, I just want you guys to know, man, I love what you do. I love your band and all that." And I'm like looking at this big tour bus with all these people, and I
Everyone
said,
fussing around him.
"Who are you then, mate?" And when he hit us, I was like, "Oh my God, we should be, you know,
Yeah,
what are you on
yeah,
about,
it was
like?"
terrible. And he was doing Nail Bomb then.
Nail Bomb, wasn't that like the only
gig or
gig
whatever.
they
the
ever
only-
did?
the only
And they
couple.
were on later after us,
Yeah,
wasn't they?
yeah. in the
Wasn't the
afternoon.
Deftones on before us? Am I right?
That was another. That was when
another one.
That's when we toured America when we played with
That's right.
Deftones,
Yeah.
Soulfly, and
That was the memorial
Memorial
one,
for
wasn't
this
it?
kid. Yeah, Deftones, Soulfly, Dub War, and Fa
Arizona.
and Snot. Yeah,
It was Arizona, wasn't it?
what a bill!
I'd love to go watch that now.
What a bill! I know how much it costs to make a video, and it's not cheap, and it's not easy at all. And they really did us. They did us real well. We did a video for the punk one. We did the low key sort of. The most low key was Mental. Did a video for Mental. We done that video for Mental while we were doing on the same day as we done the video for Strike It. In the lift, going down to the I can't even look at his face. I can't remember it. We were doing a video for Got It. Sorry, not Strike It.
That's better.
That's
yeah.
right.
We were doing a video for Got It in London on the tube trains and all that.
Tube.
God rest his soul. The guy who done the video is dead now.
Is he?
Yeah, he died. I can't remember. Mark Wells or something like that. Anyway, he did the video. He's dead now. But E-Rig's halfway through doing the video, he said, "Look, guys, E-Rig wanted to do another video today, but you know, I can do it real cheap and low budget and just all get in the lift and just sing the song. I'll play it." And he did it. Like took 3 takes, and we did the video, like just acting crazy.
For what song?
For Mental.
Have we got that? Have we? He's talking about videos.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I don't think I've ever seen
We
it.
got a video for Mental.
I didn't know there was a video.
The
for
same day
Mental.
as we did Strike It.
I can
God,
vaguely remember it, but I don't.
we're all in the lift, like, you know.
I never knew.
And
we
he's
did a
like
video
against
for
the
that
wall,
either.
and you're playing, and Gingy's just said, "Yeah, we did the video."
Wow! Can't wait to see that. Is that going to be on the DVD?
Then we had our American experience, and we went and we did a video called "Strike It" in New York. We did "Strike It" in New York City, which was amazing. Then we went to San Francisco and we shot a video for a song of ours called Enemy Maker.
That's right.
Guilty or not guilty, exploiting the crime.
Then we went back to San Francisco with Mike Lizette. What was his name?
Lizelle.
No, Lizelle. It wasn't Lizelle. Lizario or something like that.
Lizario, yeah.
Something like that. He had a Mexican name. He was a white dude. Then we went back to do the video for Cry Dignity. So I think it was 6 videos in all we did. I think the one video cost 75 grand. Really? Yeah, he spent money on it. He fucking, like I'm saying, I disrespect him when I say that
You
he
could
didn't
buy
care.
2 houses for 75 grand in those days.
Could have, yeah.
You know,
Could, it was about
they were the,
30,000
I mean,
for a house.
I remember looking at the statement for it, like, and you know, he flew us over. We stayed in Mac condition hotels. We had a caravanette, which was like one of them.
The big
Yeah.
tour.
I remember that when we drove into the desert.
Drove into the Black Rock Desert
That
to
was
do the
wicked.
video, which was amazing.
I remember in the desert lying down on the whatever it was, mud, isn't it? It's like a riverbed or something, on a dried up riverbed, and looking up at night and seeing all the stars, man, because there's so many stars you could see.
And there's no pollution.
pollution in the sky. But there were so many stars. Remember
Can I
that?
just say the concept of is it the Cry Dignity video is we're all
Lord
each
of
a
the
monk,
Rings.
we're different monks, and we all represent the different elements, don't we?
Yeah,
Like
fire,
water,
wind,
fire,
yeah.
and that's, do you know what I mean? And it's sort of, and we all come together at the end of the video and create a big spark in it, or
Blend
like
into one or
lightning,
some
or
shit
and
like
that's
that.
that was his vision of
Yeah.
dub war, all different styles coming together
Yeah.
and creating, you know, a
The oneness,
force
like,
to
yeah.
be reckoned with.
Yeah.
Which
The
is
beginning of the
I
next
love it.
universe.
great video.
That was cool.
Great stuff. I remember on that video though, in that desert, with he had that big Jeep thing, didn't he?
Oh, that
do you
Toyota
remember
Land
that?
Cruiser.
And I'll never forget this. As long as I've got to be one of the maddest things I've ever done. I said, "Can I have a go in it, mate?" And he went, "Yeah, no problem. You can have a go in it."
Switch the lights off.
I remember I floored it,
Wicked.
right? I put my foot, this is the desert, right? I floored this Jeep, right? I put my foot hard down, right? Doing it, we must have been doing nearly 100 mile an hour. And I turned the lights off. It's just middle of the night, desert, pitch black. And I'm
Great.
just going like this, pitch dark, 100 mile an hour. I mean,
Lights off.
that was a buzz, wasn't it? And after
Mad.
about 2 or 3 minutes of doing that, which probably seemed to go on for hours, I was thinking to myself, are we going to find our way back? You know, remember I turned the light, we put the lights back on, I slowed down, and I turned round, and it's just desert, you know. You could not see it, you know, it gone off.
And once again, no
curve,
telephones.
no phones, no anything. So somebody clicked on the ideas, well, just follow the bloody tyre tracks back. Innit? But I was looking around going, how are we going to know our way back? We're never going to find
It was
our
the
way
same
back.
desert where they shot Independence Day.
That's it, yeah, Independence Day. So
Yeah.
there we go.
And that was a good.
That was
but
an amazing
I had,
sketch,
when
man.
I was in London doing the intro, because you guys had to go off and do something else, but I was doing the intro on my own with this Stephen Wells. His name was the director. He died. He used to write for the NME as well. I was in London on some common doing the beginning of the video. Remember, I'm lying down. There's like a dream sequence.
Yeah.
So I'm lying down like that, and he had to take off and go and do something. He had to go and pay for the car meet. It was only me and him.
Is this these...
Yeah. So I'm lying there now, and like I got the camera, and he says, "Oh look, I got to run and put some money in the car meter. I'll be back now." So he ran off, and I was there now, and I'm stood there, and I'm holding the camera, and all of a sudden I'm like this. I'm going, "Oh my God, this guy's walking up towards me." And I realise it's Bill Oddie, like. And
From
like,
the Goodies.
Yeah, from the Goodies. And I'm like, wow, it's Bill Oddie. And I'm so excited Bill Oddie's coming up to me. And the first thing he says, have you got a permit to have that camera? And I'm like, why are you being so grumpy for? I'm looking at Bill Oddie saying, what? It's Bill Oddie, man. You're the funny one in the Goodies, like, you know. And he said, I don't care about, I just want to know, do you have a permit for that camera? I said, I don't know what I don't know what you're talking about. I do not what? You're speaking Japanese. I don't understand you. You need a permit. I said, it doesn't help. You can say it all you want, mate. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just doing a video and this guy's popped off and I'm holding the camera for him. And he's like, he's getting all heated and he just realised that he was just talking to someone who was thick as shit and he didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And as he turned around, I said, hey man, anyway, you're a baddie. I thought you was a goodie. Well, it's just people who are into the band, what we do, like into people who are into like Robert Trujillo. He was a massive fan. I remember we played in Australia in a small pub in Australia in Sydney. Was it the Annandale? Somewhere anyway like that. And we were in Sydney and we were backstage. We finished the show, and we're all like it's a room no bigger than this, and we're all changing and.
I can see because I was by you in that room, and Robert too would have been standing by there
right, in the doorway, and he's
like, just like there.
This Mexican looking like Indian.
I didn't speak to him.
Yeah, you didn't.
And I hadn't even remembered he was there until you told me, and I can see him.
And he just stood in the doorway, like just appeared like the little guy from flipping Mr. Ben, like just stood in the doorway, like the shop, like the shopkeeper, you know. And like he said, hey, and he came in and he said like, hey, I'm from America and I'm touring myself and. You know, you guys loved your stuff. Oh, since I got turned on to it, I'm a massive fan, and you know, that was an amazing show. And he befriended us. And when we started touring America, we'd go to Robert's house and
stay at his house.
He'd let us stay in his house, and like he'd take us down to the beach, and we drink.
This is before Metallica Mind and all.
Oh
that,
yeah. This is when he wasn't. He just finished. He was just started to do the Aussie stuff, didn't he?
That's it.
One of the biggest things I've ever happened to me, one of the biggest, oh my God, I don't believe it. I was with Skindred and we were playing a festival in Essex. And I was told that Joe Strummer was there. And I walked up to Joe Strummer and I went, oh man, you should catch my band. Like, I'm in a band called Skindred. We're playing, in the main room at the end, like. And he was like, oh yeah, because he was there with Keith Allen. You know, Keith Allen. And he said, oh yeah. He said, but you were in Dub War. I went, my mouth just opened to know that like Joe Strummer knew who Dub War were. Like it was like, he said, oh, I really liked your stuff. He said, yeah, is there anything like Dub War, what you're doing now? I said,
that's amazing. I didn't know that one.
Yeah. But it was the way he went, oh, like recognised me, and I didn't expect him to. And it's the same with Moby.
Oh, not the David. Hang on.
Yeah, we went.
Oh no!
We were in a.
Hang on, hold on. You is that the sketch?
Yeah, it was the same. But it was like we played with Moby in
Yeah, Moby.
Yeah,
Holland, wasn't it?
We played Amsterdam in the Cannabis Cup. It was Fishbone, us, Moby, Teenage Ataris, or somebody else.
Yeah.
And Moby watched us, and he, I never spoke to him, but he just went, like, great show type of thing. As we were leaving, he had to go off and DJ or something. But we got to New York for the first time to the Earache offices, and there was an invitation on the table. To this club, and I said, invitation, what invitation? Opened it up, like, and I said, wow, Moby's invited us to his rock band to his rock. He's got this band, and he's like playing, and he's invited
free beer
us,
and everything,
free beer, small club. But I couldn't believe that we actually had an invitation, like handwritten invitation from Moby. So we all went.
Well, I gotta say this. Because we were having a chat when we were free beers. We had about 4 in each hand. And
yeah.
I was like talking to Benj now with my beer, and we're having a little chat away. And Benj just said, "Whatever you do, don't turn around." I was like, "Why, Benj? What do you mean?" He said, "Just don't look round. Don't look round now. Whatever you do." And of course, the first thing you do is look round, innit? Well, I looked round. I turned round, and I'm face to face with David Bowie. Right.
At Moby's party, like.
I just went.
Brilliant.
And Benj just pushed me out the way. He said, "All right, Di, my name's Benj."
And you know,
and he said,
and Bowie leaned forward like this.
What did he say?
He said, "Nice to meet you." He said, "But it's David."
It's like, oh my god, it was amazing. You got his autograph, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
But lost it. Didn't you?
Yeah, it was funny because the cleaning lady must have threw it away in the morning. Like, gutted I was. I searched that hotel room in New York for ages.
I think I was the nearest thing to starstruck I've ever had in my whole of my life. I just completely froze.
And it was funny because when Moby was on stage, Bowie stood on a chair to watch the show,
That's right,
and
stood
all
at
the
side.
crowd turned and just watched Bowie. Watch Bowie watching Moby. But and it was funny then because I said, Moby ain't going to know who I am. So when Moby was passing, I said, hey, thanks for the invite. He said, oh, no problem, man, no problem. I said, you don't even know who I am, do you? He said, oh, yeah, I do. You know, you're Benji from Dubumentário. We're stuck in our own town, little Newport. But everywhere we went, we had these people like, you know.
Amazing.
What about Bruce Dickinson, when we done the rock show, going, hang on, boys, is there an airport in Wales? Yeah, Roos Airport, Bruce. And he was like, let me just check the forecast.
It was snowing or one was in
If
Manchester.
the forecast is all right, I'll give you all a lift
I'll
home in
drop
my
you
plane. We were like, yeah!
And it was snowing so bad.
And I remember he come to talk to us, and he was talking, and it's like Bruce Dickinson, Iron Maiden, and I was like, I couldn't talk to him, could I? I was like, I was starstruck then.
With all the white boy, and all the red boy, and all the yellow and the black boy. When the enemy side, when the strike, when the enemy side.
I remember one sketch about TJs and all that, and the John Socolo sketch and all that, who sadly just left us, but it was kind of dubbed the New Seattle, wasn't it, at one point?
Because a lot of bands were getting signed at the same time.
Kennedy soundtrack.
Yeah, but they came later, see.
They were a bit later,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it was definitely
But I love Novocaine.
Novocaine,
60
foot
dolls.
dolls.
They nearly did it. Well, they did. They had a top 40 hit, didn't they? The
Who's that
60
now?
foot dolls.
Did they? They had it, did they?
Yeah, stayed and they go to 36 or something.
I remember on our second record, we had a song called Cry Dignity, and it got the number 41 on Earache Records.
We were all around the radio, weren't we? Because the midweek chart position or something was like 30, I don't know, 36 again.
Yeah.
And so we all thought we got a shot here. I mean, we had the sheets for Top of the Pops and everything, didn't we? Where the gear was going to go. We all thought we was going to be on Top of the Pops.
Yeah, we did.
And I remember on Sunday when the charts come out, we all met in the cafe in town.
Scarlet's.
Feeder is another band, Feeder.
Yeah, and we all sat round the radio, and it started at 40, didn't it? And we thought, oh, it might be 39. And then, well, it got to 36 though, but it was the week, wasn't it? That blinking Zoom. What was
Up
it?
and Down. No,
Was
it was
that
the band
Zoom?
called Inside Out.
Spaceman.
Spaceman.
You thought it was that? No, it was the Up and Down DVD. There was a.
Was it?
It was one of them reality shows. It was on a Friday night. There was a reality TV show about a boy band from Manchester, and it was one of the first ever reality TV shows. And they released a single the same day as our single was released. But they had this massive thing on Friday night on TV or Sunday night.
I always thought it was that Babylon Zoo.
No,
It was like the
that
biggest selling record ever or something. for 5
That
minutes.
Upside Down sort of kicked us up the ass.
Oh,
Really.
was it? I got it all wrong. See, all these years, look, it's taken me to
We all listened right down to the top 10.
Yeah, we thought, no, it couldn't be 10. It couldn't be 9. It couldn't be 8. No. I remember being really gutted though. Man.
Walking
really
on with my tail between my legs, honestly.
Really gutted because we were on tour at the time, weren't we?
Working
The
hard.
record come out and it was all great and everything was
Good
brilliant.
reviews.
and We all thought it was good.
We thought it was in the. I mean, when it got down like the top 15, and we're still there listening.
Yeah. And I think it was actually at number 41. Wasn't
Yeah, it was
Just
41. Because I remember
outside.
Sally from Earache called Carl
That's it.
and said, you know what, you've been sat there listening. Cry Dignity is 41 in the charts. So officially like,
Gutted.
and that was it, man.
That was kind of the end of it all, really, wasn't it?
Well, it was the beginning of the end for
It was
sure.
the beginning of the end, really, because I mean, all the money had
baskets
gone
that-
into
yeah.
the tours, into the playing. We had our art set on everything. Everything was brilliant, and then that really was like the sort of quite a devastating setback, really. It upset me.
Oh yeah, I think
thought we were
everyone
in
was,
there.
and I know Digby was gutted as well, and all of the because we all like worked so hard.
News of the earth is daily madness, headlines going down. Could be the death of Mr. Simpson or Krusty the Clown. They push the knife into the wounds and watch the people yell.
It was a new generation for Earache Records, and they had us, that weird Johnny Velvet dude, or who he was, the DJ guy, remember?
Johnny Violent.
Johnny Violent. It was Johnny Violent, Jane Stack,
Misery Loves Company.
Misery Loves Company, and there was another band, Polkas.
Polkas.
And we were on the same bus as Jane Stack. That was Gisbert. And we travelled around Europe. Some of the shows were brilliant, and other shows were like pretty sparse. But it was a good tour. It wasn't like the end of the band. It felt like we were doing something, but we did feel like we were pushed into doing the tour because we didn't want to. You know, we wanted to be getting on with other things, but you know, it worked out well. And we played our last show in England, which was in the Astoria, and our very last show was in Belgium, a club called the VK Club. I'd like to sort of wrap it up with saying the band sort of come to a stage where it was like the relationships with Eric and ourselves had broken down, and it was all to do with money and budgets and stuff like that. Whereas on the first record, it was like, who do you want to work with, what do you want to do, and the second record. But after we spoke about the Cry Dignity falling short and not getting in the charts, it came to recording the third album. And I think Eric had hit upon a hard time, you know, and they'd lost a lot of their backing and stuff, and it went to the point where we weren't going to get half as much, we were going to get hardly nothing to record the album, and it was all everything was just so budgeted. But we signed a deal with our MCA, and MCA then reneged on the deal when they were supposed to give us an advance. And that sort of really knocked the wind out of the band's sails. And people just had to go back to work. People had to get jobs, and you can't serve two masters. And people had to make decisions in their life, and you know, I know Jeff and Ginge opted to sort of get on with their life and leave the band.
Well, I just got a mortgage, you know what I mean? It's like,
and you got your mortgage on the strength of the MCA deal.
That's right, yeah.
You know.
So, you know, it all ended and I was left with a mortgage.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's like, with me, I just because like I said, I swore, if it ain't music, it's music for me. So I was doing a couple of projects, and I was doing the stuff with Robert Trujillo, because we ended up getting a band together called Mass Mental, and we done a tour. We just done a few shows around Los Angeles, and we went to Japan to tour as well, which was good fun. So I did that, and I done the Soulfly thing, and then I wanted to get another band together, British-based band, because even though I was asked to make a band with Snot, with the guys from Snot, my kids were real young, and I just didn't want to be that far away from home for that amount of time, because I know how long it takes to get a band off the ground. And I started working with Max Cavalera. I recorded the Soulfly stuff, and I was making I did that, and I was in the studio with Robert, and Max came over to tour, and he played the Dynamo Festival, and I was at the Dynamo Festival doing my part on the Soulfly album that I did in the studio, a song called Prejudice. And the guy from Alex, I think his name is Alex, someone from Eric anyway, said, "Oh, we got the letter off Jeff and Ginge." And I was like, "What letter?" So, yeah, just a letter of them resigning from the band. And what did you say, bruv? Yeah, Jeff and Ginge have left the band. I said, yeah, they've left. We got the letter this morning. So that was the first time I knew that they'd left the band. Like, I thought the band was still running. So I was as surprised as Digby was, you know. And Richie didn't know at all.
I didn't. I thought I was the last man standing, I think.
He turned up in rehearsal on the Wednesday.
He was like, yeah, what's going on? No, but this my version of it was like, I know you and Ginge were doing like some...
The Tribal Clash
sort
stuff.
of stuff.
That's right, kind of forgot.
You were off gallivanting around America with all your rock star mates. And I was like, hang on a minute, we're supposed to be writing the third album or blah blah blah, and they're off wasting their artistic abilities on everyone else when they should be channeling into one force, right? That's what I thought, right? And then, like you say, it all sort of fell apart, and then I thought, bugger this, I moved up to London. If I remember right,
That was it then, wasn't it?
and then
And we all remained friends. You know, we all remained friends for, you know, Jeff and Ginger had a project together, and they went to college and studied together, and then, like, you know, they became top worldwide producers, and they still are to this day. Richie's, what are you doing?
me, I'm still playing music. Play with 2 bands at the moment.
Bad Samaritan.
That's Samaritans.
Which is
And
good.
Mikey,
I actually appeared on one of your songs, didn't I?
he does.
There's a song called
vocalist.
Yeah.
Good.
co-wrote
And your brother.
and my brother Irby.
Yeah.
Irby Dar es Salaam, he's on there as well, the one who wrote Respected.
I've got a ska band called the Mighty Cosmics as well, that's like kind of part-time. I guess.
Yeah, so it's good to know that, well, we were all
I feel very fortunate indeed that I'm still making just about chiseling a living out of music.
Yeah.
You know, very fortunate at the moment. You know, the way things have gone over the years. So, I mean, the whole, you know, I remember when I first got in a band ever, the whole point of it was to avoid working for a living, really. That's what I didn't want to do. And all I wanted to do was be in a band. And fortunately, I've just about managed to keep that going for all these years. So I feel very fortunate, really.
Yeah.
You know, to have been involved in, you know, the Dub War thing, the Skin Dread thing. Brilliant, like, you know, and what I'm doing now is great fun as well. So very lucky, really. You know, to have kept up a musical career, I suppose. And Ben's, of course, doing amazingly well.
I am.
And me and Richie are doing some stuff together as well, aren't we?
We are carrying on working together, yeah.
We're still working together to this day. Well, so's me and Ben's, really,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
we're doing a bit of production on a few
Yeah,
bands.
I've just produced my first album with a band called Revoker. We've got a lot of label interest at the moment and stuff, so
Yeah.
we're quite excited.
Watch this space.
So it's bright, it's bright. You know, we're basically passing on our pearls of wisdom to those younger generations.
The same old things that come with each and every day. That world of fast and useless and
I often wondered if we would have had a manager with some clout, if the story would have been different. No, I'm not regretting anything that we did with Carl, but I just think he was young and naive. Same with all of us. And if we would have had a manager with some balls who could actually take Dub War to the fight, you know, in the same way as like bands like Skunk and Nancy had, I think it would have been a different story. Like I've had situations where after the band split up, you know, when you're blaming everybody. But for me personally, looking back, now I realise how good we had it on Earache Records, and for a long, and the amount of money that they spent on the band. It's like, and I've said to Digby, like, drunk and sober, sorry again and again, because it's only now looking back and seeing what, and going through other bullshit with labels to see how good they treated us, you know. And that's
right.
You know what I mean? They did treat us really well, like, you know. And for a long time too, like, you know, I mean, the band was together for 5 years. And for 3 of them years, we had it really, really good. We did. Now, the original lineup, I don't think will ever be in the same room again. Because we've just, after all these years, 17 years later, we've had a divorce in the family. And we're just going to have to deal with that. You know, maybe we could write an album in a strange way, but at the moment, it's like, I don't think we'll ever will. We nearly did about this time last year, but it sort of died a death.
Well, you know, you never know. It's early days.
Yeah.
You know, never say never. But
At the moment, never.
It could never be. It could never be like what it was, though. It couldn't. We know too much.
yeah.
We didn't know anything. That's why it was good.